Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Runaways issue 3. And before I jump into this issue, I just want to give you guys an update. Of course, I have Comic Uno episode. That show where I review all the comics I've read this week in one show. The exclusive comics are in the description below, and the episode will be annotated there also. But let's start talking about Runaways issue 3. Book I was super excited for. Karolina Dean is one of my favorite superheroes of all time, and it's been way too long since we've seen her. So glad to see her return to the pages of Runaways. So let's see if it was a good return. Gorgeous cover here. I also wanted to get the variant, but I think it was a bit more expensive to get the variant cover. Maybe one day if it's not $15. But yeah, beautiful cover here. Great colors, and it's everyone wanting Karolina. And I think you get to see a little bit of who the characters are. So like Molly's on the bottom there. I believe Julie's on the side. So you can kind of tell who the people are grabbing her. And I guess some of them are just like from her college. But let's move into the artwork. The artwork continues to, or Chris Anka really continues to rock this book. Just with the opening, there's so much attention to detail. We have, and this goes into the letterer, where we get to see the song playing of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the Beatles song that obviously is the namesake of Karolina's character, or her superhero name. So just beautifully with the rainbow italicized there going into her hair, just brings life into listening to music in a static medium. And then even the little posters in the background, you got a Dazzler poster, you got the Beatles poster, really expressing Karolina's personality, which a college room should do. And we even get the small moment of her picking up her medical band, which we haven't seen in a while, because that's how she hides her abilities. And doesn't mean that she's hiding herself in college and hiding her alien side. Obviously, we don't know enough about that side of her story, but maybe we will as the show, as the comic continues. And then we have this moment where Old Lace and, you know, the rest of the crew is trying to visit Karolina, and Karolina's neighbor looks at Old Lace looks at the neighbor, and the neighbor walks back into their dorm, because you just have that comedic, awkward moment. That kind of shows where we're gonna go with this storyline, these two worlds meeting, the normalcy that Karolina has created with her college life, and the life she left behind, which was the Runaways, and all the weirdness that came with it. So, yeah, the artwork is just gorgeous. And another scene I really like, and I'll go into with the story, is the Nico and Karolina scene. You know, there's a lot of things in this scene that aren't spoken, but you feel. And that's because of the collaboration between Anka and Rainbow Rowell. It's just so great, and it just reminds you why this is one of my favorite creative teams right now in comics. Just the marriage of both their works here just works really well. So yeah, great artwork. Let's jump into the story though. So with this issue, we get to see, like I said, the team is visiting Karolina, and Gert is excited about this. You know, this is a person she hasn't seen, well, she just saw, but technically hasn't seen in a while, and she thinks that she'll easily convince Karolina to join the crew, and they're bringing the band back together. But when they actually do interact with each other, Gert quickly learns that's not the case. Karolina likes the life she has. She's happy, she has a girlfriend, she loves her roommate, she loves her classes, and she's seeing a therapist, and she's living a healthy life for once, and she doesn't want to join the Runaways again. That's kind of behind her. And, you know, Nico, Chase, they kind of understand it, but Gert, she just can't wrap her head around it, so she leaves. And we get this really awesome scene between Gert and Chase, where Gert, you know, finally breaks down. You know, it's only been a few issues, but she just came back to life, and she's realizing everyone's growing up without her, and she feels left behind in a lot of ways. So I love that little sarcastic moment that Gert tells Chase, like, "You ate my boyfriend." Like, who is this grown man? Can we even have a relationship after this? So, you know, it's the question of their romantic relationship because of how time has passed and how Chase is older now. And really it's just a question of where does the Runaways go after this? But I think one of the more most interesting storylines, even though the Gert storyline is really interesting and shows consequences to her coming back, but the one I really enjoyed was Nico and Karolina, because of the awkwardness that we get to see between them, where Nico's really short with Karolina, where he's like, oh, you happy? And Karolina's like, yeah, I'm happy. And she's looking around her room. She sees the picture of Julie and her, in which I'm very happy that Rainbow Rowell kept that continuity, because I love that relationship. But there was never enough panel time for it, so hopefully as Runaways continues, we get to see a bit more of them. But, yeah, you know, Nico sees that Karolina's happy, and she realizes that she's not. And I love the lines, the dialogue here, where Nico's like, I never worried about being a good person before. I never felt like I would be a bad person, but now I'm afraid, and I need you guys. And Karolina's like, well, I'm happy here. You know, I'm being a good person here. I'm going to my therapist, and I have this mantra that I keep repeating myself. But then after that conversation, we get to see Karolina just have guilt again. You know, she was guilty, obviously, previously in other Runaways books with everything that happened with Xavier and all that. But now, you know, after seeing Nico, she is guilty again, and is she happy now that she has to leave her team? So it's just a really interesting emotional roller coaster, but that scene was just so well written. And I do even like that with the marriage of the artwork and the writing, where we get to see Karolina has this heart-shaped mug in her hand, and it's not when she sees Gert that she drops it. It's when she sees Nico. We get to see that physically her heart breaks, but it's also this reference to her heart emotionally breaking and dropping. Is like, oh God, you know, my past is at my doorstep. So there's just a lot of great moments like that that make this issue. I guess my small nitpicks is that the overall storyline of who this villain is we're only getting pieces of it. So I kind of wish we got a little bit more from it, but I do like that it's kind of slower just to fit all this great character moments in. And also, you know, I would have loved to see Julie and Karolina's interaction, a little bit more of Karolina's life before the Runaways entered in, but there just wasn't enough pages, obviously, because there was so much meat to cover here. And you are left on this cliffhanger, is like, will Karolina join the team? Of course she will, but you wonder, how is this going to happen? She is actually happy here. What's going to push her to get her back into this life? And will she leave her college life? Will she leave classes? So, you know, really ends you on that interesting note. So very excited to see what Rainbow Rowell and Krasinska do with Molly next issue, but I was very happy with this Karolina issue, and I can't wait to see more of her when we do. Probably not next issue. I'm guessing it would be the issue after, but really great stuff here. So Runaways issue 3 from me gets 4.5 stars, and I'm sure it's going to be close for being my pick of the week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Yes, I did go very in-depth with this issue. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.